Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everyone, and welcome to the 5th round of the Formula ROBLOX League Division 2 Championship. Today we will be racing at Rio Street Circuit, as qualifying is going to get underway in just a mere seconds from now. So one driver unfortunately can't come. I'm not sure if he has a reserve driver already, otherwise I'm just going to sorry for the lack of commentary. See that the qualifying did not reset for whatever reason, so let me correct that. Hopefully it's going to work. Yes, there we go, 10 minutes. Yikes, big yikes. A little bit distracted because on this call there's a few last minute things that have to be handled. We want to have as many cars on the grid as possible today. So I'm trying to get a few reserves. Sorry for the lack of chatting. I'm trying to get the grid to 14 drivers. There's only 8 right now. I'm not sure where some drivers have gone. A few drivers couldn't come. I'm not trying. One driver just called off last minute, so I'm going to try to get a reserve to drive for that team. It looks like everyone should be on their laps right now. Let's stick on board with Creep Brazil. Okay, so I'm going to finally be able to commentate again because just managed to get some two reserve drivers to join us last minute. We've got Phantom, Hyperion, and Illuminati 055. Those two have been drafted in last minute to drive for in place of Edvardidos at the Latvian Red Racers, and we've got Illuminati driving in the place of driving for River Racing, replacing Choco Gamer for today. So right now we're up to 11 drivers. We've still got 3 drivers missing. I'm going to check a little bit later who's missing for the league administration to see which drivers, main drivers have been naughty to miss out without any notice. Anyway, back to qualifying. It is Portomaker on pole position. Our championship leader once again looking really looking to have secured his position at the top, at least in qualifying so far. We've got JL161 in second place. We've got a debutant XR33N. We've got him in third place, so he's doing making impressions on his debut so far. We've got Messi CR, who claimed his first podium last race in 4th place. We've got Creepy Brazil, race winner in 5th place. Chirpy Bird, his teammate, down in 7th as Tash moves up a few spots. Meanwhile, we've got Yo-Yo, who's also making his debut. So we've got quite a few debutants right now. We've got a lot of reserve drivers who have signed up to this league lately. So thank you for signing up, and you were just able to give away a few reserve seats. For the other remaining 2 drivers that are still missing, or 3 drivers actually, they can still join last minute. We'll see how that will turn out. We are missing. Is that what? I don't think either regular Latvian Red Racer drivers could come. I'm hearing that okay, let me see. I know there's one driver trying to join. He unfortunately has to be pretty quick in order to join in time, so I hope he's going to make it in time. We've got 2 other drivers missing. I believe no reserve driver for them. It's a bit too late to draft another reserve driver. So we've got 1 minute on the clock in this qualifying session. It's Portomaker still out there in pole position as we're now looking at what we're watching Yo-Yo do another of his flying laps, trying to negotiating. Very slow corner. I think the slowest corner in the entire game actually. Negotiated it well. It's now going to run up to the penultimate corner on this track. I'm going to consider this as 1 corner. We've had discussed this before, whether this should be counted as the final corner or not, because the chicane where we're coming up now is flat out. You can easily take it flat out as Yo-Yo is doing right here, and I believe Yo-Yo is not driving the car he is supposed to be driving. Now, I am noticing, but I'm not going to, as qualifying is going to end shortly. Yo-Yo is supposed to be replacing, let me see, because reserve driver Mark has been very active lately, so I have to look up. Yes, he's driving for, is going to be Phantom's teammate. He's supposed to be driving the Lusakuto. So if Yo-Yo isn't able, I'm not going to force him to do this, because after this qualifying session, I reckon he may be even the last guy to cross the line to complete his final run. So he's going to have very little time to swap cars if he chooses to do that. And if he isn't able, if it's too much of a hassle to change cars, then I've got to remember that Joyu is supposed to be driving the blue Sakuto car, which is the car that Phantom, I believe, is driving right now. But back to qualifying, it's Portomaker who seems to have pole position in the bag. We've got JL161 in second place, we've got XAir33 in third, we've got Chirpy Bird in fourth. Messi is about to completely snap. Is he going to improve his lap time? No, he isn't. So that leaves Yoyu as the final car to cross the line. We've got a few guys quite far off the pace in qualifying. Some of them have been drafted in last minute, so I can forgive them for not having the time to practice in advance for this race. But anyway, that's qualifying done. Let me take a screenshot of that. So, screenshot taken. So we're going to, for the first time, we're going to try to do a normal start in this game. Previously we've had glitches with the start, as Yoyu isn't on the grid right now. He has missed the race, unfortunately. I'm not sure what happened to him. But anyway, we're going to get on the way shortly. Here we go. Everyone seems to be off the line just fine. That's great to see. First, I'm not sure what happened to Yoyu. Curve tried to change the cars. He stalled. No, he didn't. He didn't. I'm not sure what happened to Yoyu, if whether he got some kind of glitch or something else. Don't think we're going to restart anyway, so it doesn't seem to be capable to give me a good reason to give an explanation for what just happened to him. So that means we'll just have to carry on. Wasn't clicking, okay. And wasn't something. Not sure what to do now. Meanwhile, we've got 5 for the lead. Let's have a look at that. Okay, so I've got that hassle out of the way. We've got Portamaker still in the leading wave, with JL not too far behind, so Portamaker under pressure right now from JL, doing a good job trying to keep up with Portamaker so far in this race. JL running a bit wide there, Portamaker a little bit lagging, the game struggling to keep up with his position. So from the race, again no track map this race, I'm not sure what's going on there. Let me have a very quick look. What's going on? I don't see anything significant, so I'm not sure. Anyway, we're going to carry on. In this event we've got a battle going on for P3 right now between Creeper Brazil and Chirpy Bird. If Chirpy Bird just in third place, having just overtaken Chirpy, and now Chirpy Bird's obviously going to be trying to get back at him. So we've got Chirpy Bird right behind Creeper Brazil for third place. Creeper Brazil having won race this season. He won the very first race this season. He had a really strong start to the season. Looked like a championship contender. He got first place in the first round, pole and the win. He also got pole in the second round, but only managed to finish second after a really close battle with Portamaker. And unfortunately wasn't able to finish the third race after, I believe, I'm not sure, he got a front row start then, and having being off the pace last week. So a mixed result from Creeper Brazil, but now it looks like he is back on the pace this weekend. Now he's fighting with Chirpy Bird for third place. Meanwhile, Portamaker seems to have pulled away from JL. Now I think Portamaker, no, he's not going to be able to secure the championship just yet. His gap to second place, Tash, the man who's down in 6th right now, is 21 points. That would not. That means the biggest point lead he would be able to get after taking pole as well would be, let's see, 27 plus 27. That's 48 points, but of course Tash is going to get points anyway, so it's not going to be a 47 points lead for Porto after this race, and you need at least 54 you need to be at least 54 points clear in order to secure the title, because you also get points for qualifying, for the top 2 qualifying at least. You get 1 point if you manage to put it on the front row, so being in second place, and if you get pole position you get 2 points. So meanwhile it looks like Chirpy is hanging on to third place for now, with Creeper Brazil losing touch a little bit. Let's have a look on board with Creeper right here. Braking around the 100 meter board, missing the apex ever so slightly, has to deal with dirty air. Unlike last week where we raced at Gisborne, which is Slipstream Heaven, this track doesn't have a lot of straight and a lot of corners, so dirty air is going to play a bigger role here, and Slipstream is going to play a much smaller role here. So in Gisborne it was very easy to keep up with someone to Slipstream, and it was very difficult to pull away. And here it seems to be the opposite. It's really easy to get away and much harder to stick with another car around here. Meanwhile, speaking of sticking with another car, it looks like XR is catching up to Creeper, got running wide, coming onto this very short straight through the hairpin. It's a little bit lag going on right now, and once again running wide, so it doesn't seem to be taking the optimal racing lines right now. He's cut that corner, so that's going to cost him a little bit of time. But XR doing a solid job in 5th place so far on his debut. Meanwhile, we've got Tash Smash, who got his best result of 2nd place last time out at Gisborne. And I've got another debutant, Phantom Hyperion, driving the Secutor car in 7th place, also doing a respectable job. I've got LAFG in 8th, we've got ROBLOX Epic, who just about managed to join in last minute in 9th place, missed qualifying unfortunately, but just was able to make it to the race. And we've got Messi CR, who got 3rd place last amount. I'm pretty sure, yes, he got 3rd place, all the way down in 10th place, so not having a good race so far for Messi, who managed to take his maiden podium finish last amount at Gisborne. And then in 11th place and last place we've got Illuminati, 48 seconds back from the race leader. Meanwhile, let's have a brief look on board with Poltermake, who is our race leader. Already having a 4.6 second gap, so once again he's won 3 out of 4 races in this season, and he's our championship leader therefore by 21 points. Having a pretty comfortable lead. All he has to do is basically complete laps in his championship just to score good points, and I think he's got this championship in the bag if he's able to make the remaining 2 races, and of course if he finishes this race as well. Looking by far the favourite to take first Division 2 championship. And looking further back, we thought JL on 2nd place, and Chirpy Bird seems to be slightly catching JL, so there could be a battle for 2nd place happening later in this race, as Chirpy Bird's only 1.5 seconds back right now, and that gap is closing. So that's going to be interesting as this race carries on. Then we've got Creeper Brazil, who has lost touch with Chirpy Bird, made a few mistakes I think, and XO also made a few mistakes a little bit further back from Creeper. Still in 5th place and a 9-second gap to 6th place, so that's a pretty large gap. Not sure what happened to the guys behind XR, probably cut off corners because it's quite easy to cut corners around here. As you can see, Tash going through turn 1 and 2, very much on the limit in terms of track limits. May have actually gone slowdown, I'm not too sure, it didn't look like it, so just on the limits, and really nice turn 3 from Tash, using all the space to his disposal. Once again doing the same for the following 2 corners. So wall tap on the exit of turn 5, but pretty steady sector 1 from Tash, looking pretty good, and once again getting really close to the inside, so definitely doing a good job driving. Unfortunately running wide there. His first mistake of this, real mistake of this lap, once again running wide out here, which costs you a little bit of time. So sector 1 looking really good, sector 2 not as good, but he's holding 5th place, 6th place quite comfortably for the time being, with Phantom over 10 seconds back down in 7th place, with LAFG not too far behind in 8th place. So unlike last time, looks like the field has spread out so far. We've got our closest battle on track seems to be Creeper versus XR, and actually looking at the timetable, I was about to say LAFG and Phantom, but that gap seems to have increased again by a little bit. So it looks like XR is closing in on Creeper, so that could be a battle developing pretty soon. Let's have a look, let's watch him board with XR as he's trying to close the gap to Creeper Brazil. Wall tap on the inside, that's going to cost him some time, that's probably going to cost him 4 to 5 tenths. Really close to the wall through turn 4. Small wall tap on the exit of turn 5, just like Tash a lap earlier, but no too much harm done. He has lost a little bit of time due to that mistake at turn 3, so he has a little bit of work to do in order to catch up again to Creeper Brazil, but if you can keep it clean, then I am sure that he'll be able to close the gap. Unfortunately, quite a bit some lag here, so it's hard to keep up with, as Chirpy Bird is also lagging on, from my perspective at least. But yeah, there's not too much going on right now. Everyone's proud still, as Portomaker has now started the 10th lap of this race. While we are, let's take a ball with XR for a moment here, and let's talk about the Drivers' Championship in Division 2. I already brought up that Portomaker has a 21-point lead over Tash to Mash in this championship, both driving RCM 1 cars, but that shouldn't matter because all the cars are equal. So I'm pretty sure there's nothing to do with that. Tash being very consistent so far in this season, so is Portal, but in a more dominant fashion. Portal has got 1 second place and 3 wins in his name out of the 4 races we've done so far, so he's doing a very solid job. Has pretty much been dominating this season. Only really have been challenged in the first round and first 2 rounds actually, as I recall Creeper, who XR's catching back up to, having a close battle with Portomaker at Flevo in the second round. Creep Brazil DNF'd in the 3rd round and got a pretty mediocre result, or I'm not sure if he DNF'd last time as well, but got a meager 8 points last time out at Gisborne. So right now back to racing. There's a battle developing between XR and Creep Brazil. XR and Creep Brazil going very close to each other. XR running wide though, still seems to surge ahead despite running wide, which the game does slow you down for. It's very close, they're going even right now. Who can take the better line through this penultimate corner of this track? It looks like XR got the better run out of the corner. Now going to the final corner, make sure to flat out, but make sure not to cut anything. It could significantly slow you down and ruin your race a little bit. Set you back a full second if you make that mistake. But Creep Brazil back ahead now of XR just about. Let's see how this is going to develop as things go on. Looks like XR with a really good run through turn 3. Back ahead and very close to the wall as Creeper missed the apex there, so yeah, very close to the wall now. Actually not touching it this time, so very nice sequence of corners from XR, and now he seems to have taken over 4th place for now, as he's got over a second gap to Creeper in the 5th place. So very good stuff from XR, very mature drive. Very close to the walls, but crucially not hitting any of them, so very much in the limit. Very impressive stuff from our leading debutant in this race. And now it seems like he is setting his eyes on Chirpy Bird in 3rd place, so that would be interesting if he could take home a podium in his first FRL race. But we'll see how that will develop. Let's stick with XR for now, and let's continue rambling on about the championship. So as I was saying, Creep Brazil is now in 4th place in the championship, having won the first race and having come home in 2nd place. So he was leading the championship after 2 rounds because he got better qualifying results. He got pole in both of those first 2 races. So after those 2 races he was favourite to take home the championship, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to put on good performances since then. Only getting a front row start, getting 2nd place in qualifying at round 3 at Pirkanma, but not finishing the race meant that he only brought home 3rd place at 3 points that round, and only 8 points last time out of Gisborne. So that leaves him in 3rd place, 39 seconds back to Portomaker, and in 4th place in this championship. Meanwhile, looking back at the screen, XR has caught up to Chirpy Bird actually, so he is going to, as Roughpuff has noted, that Creeper has come into the pits. Is he going for a 2-stop here? That's a really early pit stop from Creeper. Let's see, he has now come back out of the pits. Let's see how much time he lost. I think it's about 22 seconds you lose in the pit stop, 22 seconds, let's say 20 seconds, that's my guess. And now we've got a battle going on for 3rd place. XR has indeed called up much quicker than I expected to Chirpy Bird, and now they are battling for 3rd place in this race. And XR seems to have to move done and dusted. Chirpy Bird running wide out of the hairpin, that doesn't help him too much. Very conservative line through there. Again, running wide, really testing the track limits here, it seems. But XR just ahead now, but I don't think it's over yet. I don't think Chirpy is going to give up to that third place that easily. So I'm pretty sure Chirpy still has some work to do as he is getting right back at XR, getting at Slipstream and re-overtaking XR in the process. Now they're running pretty much even. XR getting the better run after the promoted corner. Seems to be a pretty strong corner for him so far. But yeah, they're pretty much going back and forth right now, as each of them are getting slipstream from each other. And each of them, one corner XR's taking the corner better, and the other corner Chirpy is, as Chirpy has cut the corner a little bit, and now he has lost that third position for now. He's still in slipstream range, so maybe he's going to be able to catch up back again if he can string up a good sequence of corners. But it looks like XR has surged ahead for now, and seems like he's taking the first place as Chirpy slightly hits the wall on the inside, but not too much damage done. So now that battle is over, let's again go back to the Drivers' Championship. So in third place in the championship we've got GAL right now, and it's also worth noting that the top three guys who at the end of the season, the top three guys will get promoted to Division 1 in the FRL League. They're going to be able to get a seat in Division 1. And places 4 down to 6th place, they are going to be guaranteed retaining their Division 2 spots. So they're going to guarantee drive in Division 2 next season, unless some driver... Unless they do a really good job at the trials next season, the qualifiers next season, but they can't be demoted. They can never be demoted if you manage to get a top 6 result, and you actually get promoted if you get a top 3 result in the championship. And you may be wondering what happens to the remaining, what's now 11 positions, because we've had 17 drivers running in the past 4 rounds, and that's going to be more after this round, as we have a few debutants in today's race. The remaining drivers will have to requalify. No matter if you finished rock bottom or in 7th place, you are going to have to requalify for next season to determine in which division you could race. We've got quite a few new guys who've joined mid-season or who've shown interest to join the league. Unfortunately, there are so many seats, so many of those guys haven't been able to race in this league so far. But I'm pretty sure if they stick around, they will get their opportunity next season, as we are likely going to expand to 3 or maybe even 4 divisions. Well, that remains to be seen. But everyone else, the plan is that there'll be a timed qualifying session, or perhaps something with lap times. Going to do something like that to determine who gets to drive in what division. Simply, the best drivers. The guys who set the fast lap time will end up in the higher divisions for Season 2. So that's the plan for now. Meanwhile, the guys who are in the promotion tier are Portermaker, Tash Tomas and JL, who are 1st, 2nd and 3rd in the championship respectively. We've got Creeper Brazil in 4th place, Skyrings in 5th place, and Messi CR in 6th place, but only by 2 points from 7th place, only with a 4 points advantage from 8th place. So the battle for P6, the final guaranteed Division 2 spot, it's still very close between 6th, 7th and 8th. There's only 4 points between them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to develop, as Chirpybird now has come into the pits for his first and only pit stop, I would assume. Yes, because we're now over halfway through his race. XR also having come in for his pit stop. I wonder how Creeper Brazil is going to do. He has undercut XR and Chirpybird, comfortably jumping those 2 guys by quite a margin, showing how much better the new tyres are. Because he pitted, I think, 3 laps earlier than XR and Chirpy. So, but of course that means that his tyres are going to run out a little bit earlier towards the end of the race. Or he could make another pit stop around lap 20, I would say, to do a 2-stop. I would be curious to see how that would work out, but the guys behind Creeper are now on fresher tyres, so they're probably going to be a little bit faster than Creeper, so it's going to be interesting to see. Very interesting strategy from Creeper right here to get that track position early on. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how that's going to develop. Meanwhile, I think we've got a battle going on for 8th place further down the order. Phantom being quite close to Lafty. Not sure if those two guys have pitted. My judgment is no, as Phantom just hit the turn 5 wall there. That wall taking quite some beating actually. We've seen quite some drivers hitting, tapping that wall so far in this race. So yeah, but it looks like this battle is over for now, as Phantom isn't able to catch up to Lafty for now, but there's still 13 laps to go in this race, so anything could happen still. Meanwhile, let's see, we've got Chirpy catching back up to XR again, so this battle for what was 3rd place and is now for 4th place, but could become the battle for 3rd place again if they manage to catch up to Creeper again. But they are now back battling for 4th place right now. It's round 2. Chirpy wants some revenge. He wants to take that spot from XR back. XR taking really nice lines through there, but not carrying a lot of speed through this turn 5 as he's freezing out. Now he's behind Chirpy. Chirpy taking back that position from XR. So it's round 2, but I'm pretty sure it's over yet. XR trying to maximize track limits, but running a little bit wide, slowing him down a little bit. With the new system, with the new corner cutting system, you can afford to run wide a little bit more. It's more lenient on that, but you really can't cut the inside of corners. That's where you have to be really careful. But it doesn't mean that you can track extend everything everywhere now. Perhaps you can if you need that extra space to make it around the corner, but it is slower because it's still, don't mistake it, it still slows you down a little bit. But it looks like Chirpybird has surged back ahead of XR right now, just ahead though. Looks like they're pretty much even right now as they are about to complete the lap, and actually Tash the Mash not too far behind even, I think. I have the feeling Tash is catching both of these guys right now, so perhaps we could get a 4-way fight for P3 towards the end of the race, as I expect Chirpy and XR to close the gap to Creeper Brazil, and Tash to be closing the gap perhaps to, I believe Tash just made a mistake, I think so. Tash will have a lot of work to do now if he wants to catch up. We'll see how that's going to develop. Meanwhile, we've got XR and Chirpybird still battling for that 4th place, which again could become 3rd place because Creeper made an early stop in this race, so his tires are going to be more worn out. As Tash, our 2nd place guy, he has to go. That's a shame. Being 2nd place man in the championship, so he's going to score a lot less points than he was in that 6th place. Really unfortunate to see, and that's going to hamper his championship effort in this race, and that's also going to hamper the team's championship efforts, as their team is fighting. There's only 8 points behind Hartman Colt Racing, the pink guys, who are leading the Constructors Championship right now, the team's championship. As Creeper has managed to pull out a pretty big gap to XR, and now we've got Chirpybird not too far behind XR. No, I'm sorry. XR having pulled away from Chirpybird, and also meanwhile catching up to Creeper Brazil in 3rd place, as we've got a battle going on for 7th place between Phantom, Hyperion and Lafg. Phantom having just overtaken Lafg, but still very close. Lafg with the better line, getting ahead now with Phantom, but Phantom is going to try to turn back, carrying a lot of speed through the first, through the right-hander, and then slowly compromising his run through the left-hand corner. Taking the hairpin really well, getting a good run out of it, so he's still pretty much in that battle for 7th place in this race. Lefty is running off the track. That's going to slow him down, and that will allow Phantom to probably retake 7th place here. No, Lefty still ahead, and Phantom braking a little bit early, going too far to the inside. That has cost him a little bit of time there. I'm pretty sure he's maybe going to have a little bit of slipstream or not, depending where Lefty is from Phantom's perspective, because we also have to keep in mind, although slipstream is a thing, what every driver sees is a little bit different from what I see here. For me, every single driver, and for everyone else, every single driver, every single person on Roblox is delayed. Their positioning is delayed by about 0.2 of a second. So what we see here is accurate relative to each other, but on Phantom's perspective, for example, he will see himself be a little bit further ahead. He's probably going through turn 5 now, as his positioning is slightly delayed. So he's going to be a little bit further ahead on his screen, and Left G is going to be a little bit closer to Phantom on from Left G's perspective. So you may be ahead on your screen, but you may not be actually ahead in reality because of how the positioning on Roblox works, as XR is indeed catching Creeper Brazil. I don't think Creeper is going to make another stop. He can afford to, because right now it's really looking likely that he's going to drop down to 5th place again, because Chirpy is also not too far behind and is also catching Creeper. Tash the match used to be in 6th place, but that thread is gone, and there's a huge gap from P5 to P6. But so maybe it's an option for Creeper to soon come back in the pits again to do a 2-stop, get out fresh tires, and hopefully do with a really good run. Oh, he just went wide. I'm not sure what happened here. He has to go. That's unfortunate. He's not going to be able to finish another race here. So that's over. I was about to say he could try to go for a 2-stop, but get on fresh tires and try to catch back up to XR and Chirpy, but that's now that opportunity is now gone, as Creeper unfortunately has to retire from this race. So that's our second car to go in this race, unfortunately, and that's surely going to harm Blue Spirit's championship efforts, because I'm now going to talk about the Division 2 Teams Championship here. Now it's very close at the top. We've got 4 teams in the fight for the win, for the championship, for the crown. We've got Harman Colt Racing, who are the pink cars, who are now 2nd and 5th, so they are looking really good in this race. Very consistent point scorers. Neither of the guys have won a race, but they are always close or in the top 5. One of them often is near the podium, the other one is in the midfield or around the top 6, around 6th place. So they both have been scoring consistently, having scored 36 points in both round 3 and round 4, and they are leading the championship by 8 points from Epic Snipers Racing, who are Chirpy Bird and Tash the Mash. I am pretty sure, yes, that is that team. But unfortunately, they are not going to score a lot of points today, as Tash is now out of this race and Chirpy Bird is in 4th place. So they are going to lose quite some points to the pink guys. I reckon they're going to lose around 10 to 12 points, perhaps. Trying to calculate this very quickly. So that's going to so they're going to lose some points to their pink rivals. Meanwhile, we've got Reaver Racing in 3rd place. Poltermaker having carried this team pretty much, being at the front all the time. They're only 11 points back from 1st place. I'm pretty sure they're going to be overtaking Epic Snipers Racing after this race, as reserve driver Illuminati is in 8th place and also looking to score some decent points for the team to help their championship efforts. But they are a little bit further back right now. They are 11 points behind. I don't think they'll be taking the lead. I think they will be taking over 2nd place in that Harman Colt Racing, due to both their drivers being quite far up the order. I think they'll get the most points after this race, just a little bit more points than Reaver Racing, so they're going to surely extend their championship lead to around 15 points, I reckon, after this race, the guys in pink. And then we've got Blue Spirits, who aren't going to score a lot of points this round, unfortunately. They have all 4 teams I've been speaking about. They've all scored, been consistently scoring over 20 points, at least over 20. Let's see, River Racing only scored 22 points in the first round, but that's the least those 4 teams have scored. One of those 4 teams have scored so far, so Blue Spirits is looking set to get their worst result, as Creeper Brazil has DNF'd from this race, and his teammate Skyring's not being able to come, so no start. So Creeper Brazil being in 10th place, he's only going to be able to score 6 points. So Blue Spirit going to score a meager 6 points. They were only 13 points behind the championship leader, but that's really going to really severely damage their chances of potentially fighting for the team's championship. I'm afraid. So I'm afraid they're going to be pretty much out of the running after this. Then we've got, after those 4 teams, we've got quite a gap. We've got a 61 point gap between 4th place and 5th place. The 5th place being the Cross Autosport car, which is only being piloted by ROBLOX Epic this round. His teammate, let me see who his teammate is supposed to be in this round. So his teammate Arnocha not being able to make it this round again. Has missed last round and is also missing this round without notice as well, so he could be potentially under fire. Then we've got Team Toko, who are going to score some good points. They are only 2 points behind Cross, and they are going to overtake Cross in this championship. Team Toko, who are 6th place right now with 56 points to the name. I think they may be getting their best result this season so far, with XR in 3rd, which is going to give him 20 points, and FG is going to bring home more than 10 points. I'm pretty sure 7th place is good for 12 points, so they're going to back home 38 points, which is going to beat their previous best scoring weekend at Flevo round 2, where they managed to score 26 points. So they are looking to get their best result of this season so far, which is going to shoot them up the order by 1 spot. Then in last place in the championship, unfortunately, where we have winners, we also have losers, at least so far in this race, as Illuminati has an issue. Went for a 2-stop, made a relay pit stop. He got stuck in the wall, actually. Not sure what happened to him. He shot into the wall. Not sure if it was due to him typing or just forgetting how to brake. I don't know. But he's out of this race. He's not going to get unstuck, I can tell you that. So that's going to leave 8 cars running in this race. Let's see, I was about to talk about the Latvian red racers whose drivers have struggled to attend races. The regular drivers only managed to attend a handful of races. Both drivers did notify their absences though. One of them last minute, but that can obviously happen. Maybe having I don't know, having to go somewhere all of a sudden, that does happen. So we've got a cheeky spectator in here who's not supposed to be spectating, so if you would excuse me. If you want to spectate this race, you have to do it through the stream, I'm sorry. So there is a kick right there. Anyway, Latvian Redface, they have not scored a lot of points at all, often only having one driver attending and struggling to get a reserve driver. In my opinion, they should try harder to get a reserve sorted out for each race, or maybe get different drivers altogether, perhaps. Which is the harsh reality. Both drivers missed the first round, so they scored 0 points. And after that, they managed to score 10 points at Flevo in the second round. Then at Pakinma, they scored 4 points. And then last time out at Gisborne, they only scored 6 points. And now we've got Phantom Hyperion, the reserve driver, in 6th place, which is going to yield the team 14 points. So that team is going to, with one car in 6th place, they are actually going to get their best result of this season so far. I don't think that's not going to elevate them from last place in the championship, I'm afraid, being 36 points back from the next team. But yeah, that was the championship results. We are now, we just have 4 laps to go in this race. We've got Lafchi, who's unfortunately is about to get led by JL. I was hoping that would be a battle for position, but it is not to be this time, unfortunately. Maybe next time. We've got Chirpybird still trying to chase down XR, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think Chirpy will be able to close the gap, but you never know. Only a few mistakes are required, and a few good laps from Chirpy are required for that gap to close down. This hasn't been that. This race hasn't been that eventful, unfortunately, as Lafchi just got that by JL there. Let's have a look on what with Chirpy for now and see is they are Chirpy and XR are the 2 closest guys on track right now. Only 3.5 seconds between them right now. So let's take on board with Chirpy for the remainder of this race and see if he can catch up to JL in the dying laps of this race. Looks like the gap is staying pretty much the same for now. They are very close on pace. It just right now depends who makes less mistakes. As Sportsmake has started the third to last lap in this race. Gap still being about 3.5 seconds. See how Chirpy negotiates the first 2 corners very well, very much on the limit. Not sure, did Luminati actually manage to get unstuck? No, he's still there unstuck. I'm not sure where on track that is. I think it may be at the hairpin. I actually don't really know right now. We will see where he is. We'll surely see him once we get to him. I bet he is stuck at the downhill hairpin. Not the tight hairpin, but the one we are going to come up shortly. Chirpy not able to close into yet. We're going. Yeah, there is Illuminati still stuck in the wall and refusing to retire from this race. Is going to stick there, hoping as a miracle that he's going to get out. It's to be honest, I'm very sorry. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, Vox Epic declaring he is pitting again, being in last place of the runners. So we effectively have 8 cars still running as Illuminati is still stuck in that wall. let's have a look on board with our race leader, who is now on the penultimate lap of this race. We're going to stick on board with him for the time being. Let's see how he negotiates final 2 points. He can take it easy. He's got a 26-second lead to second place, having dominated this race yet again. As his teammate right there in the wall. Still going to score a handful of points for the team. Unfortunately, having lost one position by getting stuck in that wall. Anyway, it has been a great drive from Paul to make. He's been really the guy to beat all season. And he's inching ever closer to that Division 2 championship. And I'm pretty certain he may actually secure promotion. Or he could in theory, but don't think it actually will happen. He won't secure promotion after this round, but he's getting really close to that guaranteed promotion. And in my opinion, he has he has driven in Division 1 actually, being as a reserve driver last week actually, and he did quite well. He mixed in quite well in Division 1, so he certainly deserves to go up in Division 1. Let's see how he performed in. Yes, he got 12 points last season, which is equivalent to P7. So he got P7 in Division 1. So pretty respectable result from Portal for Division 1 standards, but for Division 2 standards, he's absolutely smashing it, and great to see him driving regularly in Division 1 next season. Of course, if nothing crazy happens in the final few rounds, in the 2 rounds that come after this, because there's only going to be 2 more races this season after this one, in this 7-round championship. To make negotiating the hairpin, running a bit wide. I think it's somewhat a little bit lagging right now, so it's a little bit hard to see. Just a handful of corners to go. Paul to make is going to break around 100 meter boards using all the space that he can, hitting the apex on the inside, running a bit wide in the exit though. Running up to the final 2 corners of this track, the final couple of corners, taking a late apex as you should, getting good run out of it, approaching the final chicane, and it is Paul to Maker 5001 who is going to claim his 4th win of this season as he weaves across the line. Congratulations Paul, to another brilliant race from him, as we've got XR in 3rd place, about to lap Roblox Epic in 8th place. Or perhaps Rogue's Epic unlapping himself, because he should be on fresh tires now. Messi CR finishing in 5th place, 1 lap down. Phantom, I'm pretty sure, is also shortly going to finish. We're now looking at JL in 2nd place, 28 seconds back. We've got JL who weaves across the line as well to take home a very good 2nd place. He's going to be very happy with that. So we've got XR who is almost lapping his teammate. Is he actually going to lap his teammate here? I don't think... Made just about though. No, actually he doesn't lap his teammate, but XR bringing home 3rd place. Everyone quite spread out in this race. Chopibert coming home in 4th place. Actually, Lafchi, those 2 guys did actually finish. And now, of course, because the leader finished, a little bit super from there. And there's just Illuminati still stuck in the wall, still having a sprinkle of hope that he's going to be able to drag the car across the line, but don't see it happen. But yeah, Paul to Maker getting inching close to that title, especially after a poor race after DNF from Tash Mash and JL, his other championship rival, I would say. I think JL might take over 2nd place in the championship now. Here are the results of this race. Have a good look. Take a look at the results. I'm going to meanwhile screenshot those results and paste them in our league Discord. So that's this race done. We'll see you tomorrow for Division 1, and Yeah, see you later.